But if I escaped the level without getting a key and leaving it that way, then I would have had a bad amount of gold to be able to like set things up properly. So nothing was working out, so I decided to quit and restart.
And that's all. Like, what's the percentage chance of that? Like,
I
approximately.
don't know. I've been running
Yeah.
this game for like 3 days. I
Um,
have no clue what the percentage chances are.
is it like something you repeatedly fail at then, or?
Yes. It's a super RNG dependent run. So,
Mm,
like, well, once you get to a higher, I probably still could have gotten the personal best if I really tried, but I didn't really feel like it.
mm,
It was too hard fought to be satisfying, or not satisfying. I'm too lazy for it, I guess. Whoops. Um, but yeah, so it's once you get up to like a certain limit, then it does become uh really really low percentage chance of like you getting a good run because of the RNG. But
mm,
at this point, I really don't need it to be that good of RNG. I just
yeah.
need to get better at playing the game.
Have you seen on the like those kind of speedrunning, but with Isaac, the balls of steel
Oh yeah,
racing?
yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I thought about
I haven't done it myself against anyone, but
right. I
um,
thought about trying to do it, but it seemed like too much work setting everything up. Like you need to get a certain
yeah, I know that.
mod
Yeah,
for it.
I'm more like the casual thing. Like I must
Yeah,
have seen Northern Lion play some people, or
right.
one person, um,
Yeah,
where you
I
just like you just use the stock game and then says, "Yeah, don't take this item."
right.
That's really all.
Yeah.
Um,
It's I mean, like their whole mentality is super I mean, and that's how a bunch of speedruns are, is it's super
mm,
contained and is defined by a bunch of rules. So you can only play Judas, you have to have that mod on,
yeah,
etc. Whereas like I would much rather just play the game vanilla.
yeah. Personally, I think Isaac is the best one for casually doing balls of steel. From what I've thought of it, which wasn't much thoughts.
Right.
um,
I had
just
no
because you can
clue.
re-roll, so you can just restart, re-roll until you get a good item. And
Oh, right. Yeah. That's probably why
it's
they don't let you use Isaac, cuz it's too easy
probably because
maybe.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. To me, it just seems like it shortens the time for any players. Because
Right.
aren't you just giving them an extra chance for it to resolve quicker? Not, but it's still the same randomness. They both have the same ability to do it. It's both.
Yeah,
I don't.
I think
So I don't know.
maybe the skill ceiling. It like at
Right.
that point it makes it easier to get a lower time, but there's always
But
going to be a limit on your lowest time. So people will be able to get closer to the lowest time than they should be able to. Like they won't be a nice distribution on it anymore, type of thing.
yeah,
Maybe that's why they did it. I don't know. I
yeah.
have no clue why they picked what they picked.
I assume it's for rerolling later items in the run. Because for starting, it's functionally indifferent. Because a reroll in the first item room, if you don't like the item, it's functionally the same as just hitting.
Reset, yeah.
Um, so so I don't think they care about it in the beginning, but it's probably or because it's too powerful. But I don't know. It's weird.
Right.
Judas is a good speedrun character too. Though.
What is Judas's deal? Like, what does he got? He's got extra attack, doesn't he?
One heart. I think he has the highest. I don't know what. I'm not sure what Azazel's damage multiplier is. I think Judas's damage multiplier is highest
It
though.
probably is. Azazel
Um,
doesn't need it very high because he's got Brimstone.
yeah, yeah. I don't know what his is, but yeah, Judas, I believe, other than Nakani Azazel, is the highest damage multiplier.
Right.
And then he has Book of Belial, obviously. He was nerfed a little bit afterwards because it doesn't open Devil Rooms, but so that's kind of sucky. But
Wait, what?
Book of Belial and Rebirth, if you used it in the boss room, guaranteed open
Oh,
Devil
I didn't
Devil.
know that.
Like even if you took any form damage. So,
I did not know
um,
that.
but it does not in Afterbirth. It gives you an increased chance in Afterbirth, but
Okay.
not guaranteed. So I don't know if that's part of it either. Why if they want that as part of it, but
Right.
because that seems more powerful than D6, honestly. Like in the Rebirth ones, that seems more better. In Afterbirth, it's not better, but
Right.
Guaranteed double deal seems a lot better than a D6 for speedrun purposes.
Yeah, it does. Although there's a lot of crap devil deal items, so you kind of need to get good luck for the
And
devil
there's a
deal
lot
to
of
work
really
out.
good new ones. Like a lot of the new ones are really good, like Succubus, Incubus, Maw of the Void.
Oh, I have none of those.
Maw of the Void you hold for Serpent's Kiss.
Oops.
Actually, I don't know if Serpent's Kiss is a double deal. Maw of the Void though you hold for 3 seconds. Any key direction, just hold your firing basically, and then you let go, and a brimstone style like black circular laser surrounding you will fire.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that one.
Yeah, and then anything and the circle gets bigger and farther away from you as you have more damage.
Right.
So you can do it from farther range, and then if it kills anything, there's a high chance that it drops a black heart. So
Nice.
very good item.
Yeah, it seems kind of overpowered actually.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you've got to intentionally use it.
Right.
And like when I've been using, I'm not super good at using it yet because I haven't had it very often. I take a lot of damage with it quite often. Like I'm like, oh, do it, and then I run into try to like get them to line up with the beam,
Right.
which is surrounding me, and then they end up like running into me or something stupid right after that. Usually it's still beneficial though because of how many black hearts you can get. Succubus, you know what that one does, right? It's the little one that it bounces around the room like Envy head style, but it has a big like aura around it that does like takes some damage pretty quickly. It basically murders any load, so it probably covers like a good probably more than a third of an area of a room,
Okay.
normal sized room,
Right.
and it basically kills any small familiars in that little circle very quickly.
Wait,
Or
so
small enemies.
Lilith has that, right?
That's the other one. That one's Incubus. That's the one that fires the same, which is also super good.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a super OP one to like Diplopia.
Okay. I've never.
You get 2 of those, you just instantly triple your damage.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most.
I'm still a sucker for the big tier damage
Yeah.
items. Like, honestly, I've had people tell me like, "Oh, those items are crap. Don't take those." And I just like, I don't care. They make my tiers super big, and it looks like it's powerful, so I'm gonna do it. Same
Yeah,
with
no.
the ones that make your tiers red. If
Yeah.
they make your tiers red, I'm going for it.
There's Have you seen the new one? What is it called? Pupilla Duplex. Yeah, that one. All it does is it makes your tiers really wide and into like an arc, and then also it gives you spectral tiers. It just
I have not.
It just super increases the hitbox, and then
Right.
you get spectral tiers. So it's I love it. I think it's really good item. Makes it a lot easier to hit things.
Right.
So yeah, it's cool. It's an eye item kind of like all the billion other items. Restock is the best item for breaking the game, in my opinion. It just very simply combos with a lot of items.
Oh, that's the one that when you buy stuff from the store, it fills it up again, right?
Yeah, it's the one that you automatically have on green mode.
Right.
So, Tech X, a lot of people like. I've gotten it a lot. I don't.
What does Tech X do again?
It makes you fire laser donuts. So it's like chocolate milk where you charge it up and then you release it, and then
Right.
it fires a laser donut with like a focal point that is a laser, and then a laser ring around point. And the size of it is dependent on your damage.
Okay.
But if you're not shooting if you're shooting multiple tiers at all, I think it's very good. But if you're not shooting multiple tiers, just singular, I think it's a pretty bad item because I've gotten, I don't know, maybe I'm just bad with it, but a lot of times if you have slow shot speed as well, it's very good because it does more ticks of damage over the enemy's health.
Right.
With fast shot speed though, it goes through them really fast and then it barely does any damage, and you have to charge up again.
Yeah.
But if you have multiple tiers, or like any quad shot, whatever, triple shot, double shot, then it's a lot better.
Right.
Because it totally changes the area. I love Afterbirth. I love all kinds of like items in Afterbirth. I don't think there's any bad item in Afterbirth, is there? Well, I guess Duns Cat is kind of shitty, but I also kind of wanted it just because it's silly. TNT is crap, I guess. Head of the Keeper is awesome, even though it doesn't really do anything other than shoot penny tiers and let you get a lot of money.
When do you get Head of the Keeper? Did you get that with the Keeper?
I don't know. I know I have it unlocked. I don't know if I'm supposed to have it unlocked because the game's bugged.
Oh, that's right. I don't think I have it unlocked. It says I have Platinum God, but I don't think I have everything unlocked from Afterbirth.
Yeah, a lot of people had that when they first got Afterbirth.
Yeah, I think I just have everything unlocked from Rebirth.
No,
Yeah,
I think it's unlocked by default.
Oh.
I don't think you have to do anything to unlock it. I think that once they announced the Keeper, then...
Right.
Penny... Yeah, it just makes you shoot the greed tiers. The Ultra Greed tiers. It's pretty cool.
Oh.
And then I think upon doing damage with a tier, there's some chance of it dropping a penny.
Right.
So with Keeper itself, it's very overpowered.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no unlock, so there's nothing saying an unlock, so... It really commonly shows up in golden chests and stuff. So it's just a fun visual item most of the time. Serpent's Kiss is really fun. It's
What's
another
that?
Random chance of poison effect, so another poison item. But then enemies that were poisoned have a chance to drop a black sin heart when killed. I'm reading off Platinum Gun.
Oh.
So if they die by poison, I believe they drop the black heart.
Right.
But it's a guaranteed drop if they die by the poison. That's what it is.
So you can't hit them with the tier while they're poisoned, though. They've got to die by a tick of poison.
Yep. So with like normal, just firing normal, just you don't even have to think about it. That you'll just randomly get black hearts a lot.
Right.
But then if you have something like Brimstone, it's not that good, because you murder everything before the poison can kill. Other than that, though, like it's an item that when you're in the shitter, it can be really good.
Yeah.
What other items? Have you seen Holy Light? It's a good item. I got 100% Holy Light. That was amazing.
I do not know what Holy Light is.
Isaac has a random chance to fire a Holy Tier, which when it hits the enemy will spawn a crack the sky style light beam down on the same enemy. So like.
Oh no, I do think I've gotten that one.
Okay.
Actually.
And they deal 300% 3 times damage multiplier for the beam.
Right.
So they're super fun though. So it makes your tiers glow blue, and then, but I don't know how many luck up. I had a ton of luck ups and it let me get 100%. I was in greed mode. I had Holy Light and I was like,
yeah,
I have Yera, restock.
I see a bunch of
diamonds.
Like I see a bunch of items that say once you get this amount of luck, you'll basically have like 100% of the time use it.
Yeah.
How do you get that much luck? I've never even gotten close to getting that much luck.
Yera and luck up pills, and now in the game, in Afterbirth, pennies.
Right, pennies get you. Pennies are like the only things I've been getting, and then an occasional luck up pill. What was that? The one that you said?
Well, the way I did it, I just spammed Yera luck up. So. But then, yeah, pennies will give you luck ups, so that's probably the easiest way, is just picking up lots of money.
Right.
Using Yera and Blank Card probably is on just room full of pennies is probably the quickest way.
Damn. My money's not looking good.
Have you seen Toxic Shock? It's an item that hopefully will not get nerfed.
What's that?
Toxic Shock.
What does that do?
With this item at the start of every room, you will deal double your tier damage to the entire room and poison effect. Enemies killed now also deal
I remember that one. Yeah.
High tier damage will cause this item to become very powerful for rooms with a lot of enemies, since they can die instantly and render the room harmless. This is super overpowered.
Right.
It's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm surprised it didn't get nerfed.
Oh shoot. Wait, is this... Oh goodness. I'm not doing too hot. This is where the RNG's coming in. Being a bastard.
That's interesting. Apparently we have 8-inch nails and brimstone. It gives brimstone some knockback.
Oh.
That's weird.
Pretty easy to knock people back then, probably.
Yeah. I don't think there's any horrible item in Afterbirth. That wasn't just... I mean, TNT's kind of not very good, but... I mean, it's better than Kamikaze. Yeah. It's a one room charge item where you can put a movable TNT barrel.
Oh.
And then you can try to shoot that to blow up. So
Right.
it's really good for like getting bombs if you need bombs, but
Yeah.
oh, I have not seen that. What's that? Teleport 2.0. I've not seen that. I didn't know it existed. Used to teleport you to another room. Another random room that has not been explored. Oh. After all normal rooms have been explored, the hierarchy of rooms chosen is super secret room, shop, item room, secret room, curse room, sacrifice room, devil/angel, and I am air. This ordering means a devil and I am air can be. All others have been visited. Okay, so it's basically teleport, but instead of random, it takes you somewhere you haven't been before.
Right.
It's interesting. One thing I didn't like about Afterbirth, it did two things that I wanted them to fix. One, that angel rooms have no reason to really go to unless you just really, yeah, I don't know.
Wait, what was that?
Angel rooms, you have like no reason to go to them unless you need to like get Godhead to complete your 100% or whatever.
Why do you have no reason to go to an angel room?
Because they're garbage usually. Like most of the time you will get, so part of the reason angel rooms, so two complaints I had that I was hoping they'd fix in Afterbirth was do something that would make red hearts more valuable. Because honestly, red hearts are just not valuable at all. And any opportunity I have to empty them out, I will get rid of them.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that benefit off of red hearts, including new items that benefit off of having no red hearts. Sorry.
Right.
And there's not much that benefits off of having full. There is a few. There was like 1 or 2 new items they added that benefit off of full red hearts.
Right.
Or picking up hearts in general. But not many. And they're not that good.
Yeah.
Versus either point.
Yep.
But then angel rooms. Now, a lot of items, first of all, in the angel room pool are not very good. And the ones that are good, you can usually find item pools. With the exception of the ones that there's 2 items that are good in there. Godhead and Sacred Heart. And with Chaos in the game, you don't even have to go to an angel room to get those items.
Right, yeah.
So it's there's just no reason to go there. With the high chance that you just get there's good items in there, There's plenty of items that give you flight. But so many of them are HP based, like with red health. And red health is not really valuable.
Right.
So that further compacts it not being really worth it to go to the angel rooms.
Yeah.
And so many items, like the body gives you 3 red heart containers. The mind is a cool item, the soul is a cool item. But the body is just useless most of the time. And yeah, everything else is just whatever. It's cool thematically. Other than that, there's not that many good things. I mean, you can get... No, you can't get Lost Contact. No, we can't. Is Lost Contact in... Lost Contact. No, it's not even in... I thought Lost Contact was in there. It's not... I don't know. I don't think there's anything else good other than like Godhead, the soul, the mind, and Sacred Heart. There's only valuable items there, and they're pretty uncommon. There's a very high chance of just being 3 Spirit Hearts or 2 Eternal Hearts, so more red health.
Right.
The Spirit Hearts is decent and can be good. I'm a little bit weird in that I try to have faith in the Angel Rooms, and like a lot of people, if the first Devil Deal is trash, they take it anyways because they want to have Devil Deal precedent, so that it doesn't give them Angel Rooms.
Yeah.
I usually just like, no, that's trash. I'm just gonna wing it and say, hopefully this Angel Room has a Godhead, and like 2 times it's paid out.
Right. It's more than 0. I haven't run into that many times where you end up with a Angel Room after not taking any Devil Room items. Usually, it's like I get a couple of Devil Rooms, and then an Angel Room maybe.
Usually if I ignore, I'd say like 50% of the time, if I ignore the first Devil Deal, it will then give me an Angel Room the second time. In my experience.
Right.
A lot of people, it seems to be lower, especially when you're trying to get them, like, for Mega Scene. Yeah, like, they could have done something as simple as, like, putting more items there. And then removing things like the Eternal Heart option. Like, ones that just give you 2 Eternal Hearts. Cool. I mean, removing ones like that would have done a huge benefit. But they didn't. Just left it in. They didn't do anything. I don't even think they added any items. There's a few new holy items. There's like Crown of Light, I think, is new in there, which is a good item.
Right.
And Holy Light itself is in that pool, so it's good. It's a good item. So they added 2 good items, and that's all they did. They didn't change like anything else. I mean, they made it worse actually, because now there's like there's a few that have like freaking purple homing fires. Which is horrible, especially if you like have to kill an angel or some bullshit.
Right.
So yeah, that was the biggest disappointment, and they did basically nothing to fix either the red heart problem, where red hearts just are not valuable.
I think they've maybe given up on the red heart problem.
Yeah, and they could have done something like I saw on the subreddit. Someone mentioned another There's Options, like even more item, where it guarantees you have, in Devil Deals, you have at least 2 Devil Deals, and you no longer have ones that give you hearts or enemies. And then Angel Rooms would at least give you 2 Angel Room items, and you can pick one like the item rooms.
Right.
So, that's what people... That'd be a very good idea. You have an item that guarantees Angel Rooms will be decent. Well, I mean, if you get that item on like your first or second item room, that completely changes what you're gonna do.
Do they have any items that specifically like change what type of items you get from other rooms though?
Yeah, there's options.
That gives you multiples, right?
Yeah, there's more options. So it'd be another one, but it'd be like a style that would make it so Angel Rooms and Devil Rooms, most significantly Angel Rooms, where you won't get any bullshit hearts or anything.
Right.
And it gives you guaranteed there's 2 items in the Angel Room, you can pick one. That would be amazing. And then you could say reroll or kill the angel if you're Isaac, and then reroll 3 items. That would make Angel Rooms really good, because then you have a high potential of getting Godhead, Sacred Heart, or whatever. But they didn't do anything. They did nothing. Other than they added 2 decent items. I mean, that's good, but it's not enough.
Right.
So, and he completely ignores. Like anytime you ask the devil, just don't give a shit.
Right.
I think he cares. Edmund cares more about it just being thematic than he cares about it.
Right.
From a gameplay standpoint.
That's actually a lot of developers nowadays.
Yeah, he showed he cared partly about the gameplay standpoint, where he's like, okay, Angel Rooms are trash. I don't want to do anything to make them better. But it's kind of bullshit that people have to go to them for Mega Satan. So he added that self-sacrifice thing, which good in him, or whoever had that idea. They made what used to be a pointless thing in the game, which is sacrifice rooms. They were basically never useful or never even worth the time, and now they're basically very much useful. and very can be worth the time. That was good grammar I just had there.
Great.
But yeah, whatever. Still a fun game.
Yeah. I think maybe that's what a lot of them are banking on. It's going to remain a fun game. That's not gonna change. People will still play it.
Yeah, freaking mod support though. First thing we'll do is remove Retrovision.
Retrovision? Yeah.
It hurts my freaking eyes. Like,
yeah, that was a bad move.
When it like flicks on and off, like even after it goes away for like 5 minutes after, my eyes like quirk out for some reason. I can't focus on things. Weird.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I mean, it's like cool. At first I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh, I died.
My eyes started hurt. Oh, good job. Then my eyes started hurting. I have 303 hours.
Oh, wow.
It's probably still less. So the original game says I have 207 hours, but that's wrong because I did a lot in Spider-Man.
Oh, right.
After I got bored of it. So I probably had at least 400 hours or more in the original one.
I'm gonna keep going even though I died. Because actually, in the second game, when you die, you have to restart from your previous save, which in this case would put me back really far, and I would definitely want to restart. But in this game, you just lose half your money and leave the dungeon. So I guess they were expecting you to die a lot in this game, which I was planning on leaving the dungeon anyways, and losing half my money. So it's not a huge deal.
Wait, so you were planning on it for the speedrun?
Yes, because I needed to get my money to the right amount. But
so couldn't you intentionally die to do that then, to speed up this?
Yes, I could have intentionally died, but you can also just straight up leave it without dying.
Oh.
So there's no reason to just kill yourself. Okay. Thank you, Cordelium. Hopefully I can get a better time than my previous run, but maybe not. It's not looking like it, actually. Yeesh. But I think I'm gonna finish this anyways because I'm not gonna do any more runs after this one.
High resolution texture mods, I'm sure those are gonna come.
For Binding of Isaac?
Yeah. I mean, people have already made a lot of high resolution texture after official mod support comes.
Like they don't like the fact that it's pixely?
I mean, I don't mind the art style at all. Some people hate it. I think they're dumb.
Oh, yeah,
like
they are dumb.
Some people still prefer the Flash version. No, not artistically. Like no.
Crap! I just got money. I screwed myself over there.
Get wrecked.
Yep.
But I certainly wouldn't mind. But honestly, like if the new art style were more detailed, I honestly prefer that. Like, I think the only reason they realistically have the 16-bit style is because of his want to emulate like Zelda.
Right.
Which is what he originally wanted to do, but it's too much effort for him, so he just made it Flash. I think it looks very good, but I personally would just prefer more detailed things.
Hey, Ryan's here. Hey. Put down in. Runs through the route enough to finish a run. I honestly don't understand the route either. But oh, whoops! Don't want to do that. Actually, yes, I do want to do that.
There is nothing up.
But I still do it. Last run, I actually had a run just previously that I failed because I didn't do a part that I thought I didn't have to do, but apparently you do have to do it. So I could have gotten a sub 1 hour time on that one, but you know, speed running. What can you do? All right. What up?
This game.
What game? The one I'm playing?
Dirt Cloud.
Yeah, it's the Zelda killer, man.
I used to play it at my cousin's house, but every time we'd go over there, it would be like 5 months between plays, so it'd be like, let's start a new game,
Uh,
and then so I've never gotten, like, I've always beat the first dungeon and
Right.
then like went and did something else. So
Yeah.
I've never seen the game past the first dungeon.
honestly, it's pretty good. Shoot, which one should I? 7. It's like I think the story of it is better than Dark Cloud 2. But its whole aesthetic and gameplay is worse. Dark Cloud 2 just looks better and plays much better than this game. Luckily, I don't actually have to play very much of it because I skip to the end super quickly.
Look at all them pixels.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna fight this guy this time. These giant fish guys. It killed me last time. So I'm not gonna make that mistake again.
Yeah, Dark Cloud 2 looks like it takes some more light-hearted, almost cartoony aesthetic to it.
Yeah, I think
And that helped it age a lot
yes,
better.
yeah. I was just talking about that with Kaz from chat. I was saying, so I think it went with the whole like gritty vibe because it was at the peak of its graphical age at the time. Ooh, sweet. All right, I'm done. And then somehow ended up with another escape powder. And then also, like, it probably wanted to be different from, like, Legend of Zelda. Still had a little bit of a childish feel to it because it took bright colors for the most part. But yeah,
Yeah. I would say that the whole cartoony aesthetic just ages the game a lot better, like for any game series though.
oh yes, definitely. Like Wind Waker.
Wind Waker, and 10 years from now, Wind Waker on the GameCube is still gonna look good, but like the modern Call of Duty game or whatever is gonna look like crap.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's the point of aesthetics over graphics.
Okay, I can't say
There's gonna be
GameCube.
what kind of, yeah.
Wind
I mean,
Waker.
to be
Right,
fair,
yeah.
to be fair, I think.
For sure, Wind Waker HD will.
Well, gee, I wonder why. That's a really pretty game, by the way, which I not
It
finished.
is.
It is.
I just kind of like went into it. I was like, "Ooh, that looks pretty." I haven't played it much for like 4 hours.
Oh.
Issue with like modern graphics, mostly with human models. I think a lot of them suffer the uncanny valley unless they put some kind of art style to it.
Yeah. Like, if you're not, like, in-game, like Call of Duty or the Assassin's Creeds or whatever, like, the games that are considered the peak of graphics right now, they look, like, good in gameplay, but then they kind of are unsettling in cutscenes.
Right.
That type of thing. Especially, like, the Assassin's Creeds, where it's, like, the cutscenes are, like, super on a personal level with the characters, so it's, like, right up with them. And I don't think... I mean, we'll have to see how long it takes for... or what the limit of the Uncanny Valley is, because I think it's going to be a really, really long time. Like, we hit the point where it stops being unsettling.
Yeah. It's I don't know, I feel like we've already kind of passed that point. Have you seen some of the graphics they've been able to achieve?
Well,
yeah, it's mostly like
versus...
pre-rendered, but the main issue is Brian said in cutscenes when they get especially close to their faces, because there's like little weird things in people's facial things that they do with their eyes, especially, and little ways the muscles move that you subconsciously notice, and that's what affects the Uncanny Valley like the most. It's those little subconscious bullshit things that
you really notice every little hair.
Yeah, the hair is so hard. Like,
yeah, It's like, do you draw every single hair? Because if you do that, it becomes kind of creepy. But if you don't do that, it looks blocky, and you gotta find the right way to do that.
Yeah, some CGI though with like freaking models of people is ridiculous. How realistic they can get. But there's a reason they're usually bald.
Yeah, bald characters are just easier.
Yeah, they're almost always bald, except for if they're made by NVIDIA for demoing, which then they have copious amounts of hair, and it's ridiculous. And 80% of the processing.
Gosh darn it! Hair. I keep on forgetting to split.
Don't forget the splits, man.
Yeah, right. R1, and then down 5 times.
Oh, just so you know, I watched the new Star Wars movie.
Oh, nice. What'd you think of it?
Surprisingly, very little lens flare.
Yeah, right? My brother was like saying afterwards, like, oh, there's so much lens flare. I was like, no, there totally wasn't. Like, I did not. I think he toned it down very nicely.
I can't think. And I was watching for it the whole time, too. Like, let's see if there's lens flare, but I, like, didn't notice it. If there was some, it was very...
There was some, but I think it was tasteful. Like, lens flare is a thing you can put in movies. It's a legit effect.
Mm-hmm.
Go here.
Yeah, lens flare is weird in video games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the movie was really good.
God rays though, I like freaking NVIDIA's God rays.
What was that?
God rays, like the light, the way like light shines through kind of like clouds, like that kind of style thing.
Oh, right. Like, there's a name for those types of rays, actually.
Yeah, but it's called God rays in games right now. So, or in Fallout 4,
of course it is.
That's kind of
super pretty.
That's what people have like colloquially called it.
Right. Yeah. That's true. They have done that. Right ones, weapon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Gotta be real careful about this.
Don't fuck
Candy.
it up.
All right. I'm not gonna wait. Candy, then down 4 times. Okay.
Oh, goodness.
So by skipping,
2, 3, 4.
how much of the game are you cutting out?
Just like 95% of it, probably. Down 4 times. Grab the broken dagger.
So
this
it's
not
a
2 of
pretty
your
long
attachments. Yes.
Yeah, this isn't the type of game that works very well to play when you visit your cousin occasionally.
Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, got that one. Shoot.
But yeah, the movie was really good, and like even though it was spoiled for me
Oh, it was?
already, I like didn't want to like say what spoilers I knew because I didn't know if there were more spoilers or whatever. But there was really just the one big one.
Right.
But it was good, and I liked it. I'll be like crucified for saying it, but I liked it more than the originals, like the original trilogy.
Right.
I'll have to see like how it or how the next two compare. But if they're all live up to the standard of the first one, I think it will be the best.
The next one is going to be done by the dude who did Looper, actually.
Yeah, I heard that.
I thought Looper was a good movie, so I'm excited to see what he comes up with.
He said he was going to keep it as close to form as he can for what J.J. Abrams did.
Nice.
Kind of like how when the Harry Potter movies changed directors, like
right.
It changed like completely 180. And it was really weird, but if he keeps it like kind of style-wise, true to the form that J.J. Abrams set up, I think it'll be good. Just as long as George Lucas doesn't direct it.
Right. Hey, he did a good job on the first 3, right? Right?
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
I'm not a big enough fan of Star Wars to even have a conversation like this, I think.
Well, I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan, but I like it enough to know that it could have done a lot better if it weren't for him being greedy with merchandising.
Oh, right.
But, I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, a lot of people with the prequel ones said that he became obsessed with like what people could, or what the whatever people you call it, the people who are doing the CGI, you know, he became obsessed with that apparently.
Oh
and he
yeah,
just-
there
so
was.
cool.
I saw some snippets of the film where apparently he used a technique where you take multiple takes and you blend them.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
I saw that too.
And what's even
That's
more
really-
unsettling is Disney is finding a way to perfect it. They've literally got a study research video posted on YouTube about them like using techniques to get the perfect blending.
Yeah,
Damn it.
I don't. If I were like, that's just kind of from an editor's standpoint, it's kind of shitty because it's just my directing's not good enough, so I'll fix it in post production.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of in poor taste.
It's kind of
You can
useful,
do
you know.
it.
Like it can be very useful in situations, good to have. But the example of Lucas using it, he did it because he wanted to do it.
Oh yeah, because he wanted to be top of the line
Yeah.
CGI use.
Yeah, he didn't use it as like, oh shit, we're like this
Like,
many months into it,
let me
and we
reconnect.
recorded that 40
Wait.
months ago.
As soon as I say that, it comes back in. I missed like the last 15 seconds.
It cuts out every once in a while. Don't die, don't die.
I'm gonna talk about this completely different than we were talking about. Sony denies $800 price tag for PlayStation VR. What?
Wait, what is that supposed to mean?
And then people are talking about in the comments, it's a Reddit thread. I spoke to a Sony rep who stated that he heard they were hoping to put HMD at $300. That won't include the camera or PlayStation Move controllers. Now the camera is necessary for it to function.
Right.
The logic is that people might already have them for their PlayStation 4.
Right,
So
okay.
they want to sell a separate HMD and then a bundle with it. So that rep said they're hoping to price it at $300, and then there's going to be a bundle with the controllers and the camera, which is necessary to use it, which will
Yeah.
cost. And those go for around $125 for it to be actually be able to use it. So it's going to probably cost more than the PS4. And the PS4 being a PS4 cannot run a lot of games at 1080p more than 30 frames per second.
Right.
It's probably not going to run I would assume at least 1080p at what widely seems to be assumed 90 frames per second is kind of required. Otherwise, a lot of sickness happens.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So it costs more than PS4, and I have a hard time fathoming how something that's going to look decent is going to run well on the thing.
Right.
So I feel bad for anyone buying that. And it's going
that's
to...
kind of like how Microsoft had a update for their systems, basically allowing you to do stuff without the Kinect because it's increased performance and stuff.
Yeah. But the PlayStation VR is like, hey, exclusive VR thing for PlayStation. That the PlayStation will not run well, and it costs more than the PlayStation.
Right.
And you will barely have any games because
Like it's completely different. Like, okay, the Oculus Rift costs $600. Okay, it's new technology. It's very high end. When you look at everything that goes into it, it's not that surprising the price.
Right.
Yes, but it's starting out. The price itself is not that surprising. And the computer, like Palmer and Oculus have said this all the time. the hardest part is having the computer to run that shit in the first place, because you need at least like a $1,300 computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're the type of person to get an Oculus Rift, you're gonna have
That's true.
a higher end machine.
Yeah. So for them, it's like, okay, it's not that much of an issue, and it doesn't cost more than the freaking thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just don't see how that thing's gonna go well for them. So I think Sony's making. I don't really want Sony to release it at all, because I think it's gonna hurt the vision of the VR industry.
Do you think that do you think that Sony was doing that to like fight with Homer Lucky's ballpark announcement of 350?
I don't know. That's just a Sony rep, mind you, from someone that's saying.
So they haven't actually said.
No, they haven't.
Okay.
The only thing that recently happened was that they denied rumors of $800 price tag. So, but based on the technology, it's not going to be cheap.
Right.
It'll be very near or more than the price of the PlayStation 4, and I can't fathom PlayStation 4 running it well with any like decent-looking games.
No, yeah, I can't think of that either.
So,
VR is a good.
It might be a cool just like demo it on certain like low requirement games, you know, like if they put a 90 hertz panel in it, and but.
Yeah, but I don't think VR as like a mass way of playing games is going to be something for at least.
Well, yeah, it won't be something a lot of people are doing for a while.
I think it's going to remain a niche for the entirety of time. I think it's going to be skipped.
I would disagree.
Well, no, because
my expectation based on everything I've heard of it and everything I'm expecting of it is that it's going to be freaking amazing.
Okay, so to be fair, I haven't looked into it very much, so I'm not an expert on this or anything, mind you. But what I'm saying is, I think it's going to be skipped, and we're going to go straight to augmented reality gaming. I think virtual reality is going to remain a niche because augmented reality is going to come up on its heels so quickly that it can't really find a platform.
So you think AR is better?
I think it's going to be more prevalent in the industry as a whole. Because look at the way things are now. Game corporations, e.g. Konami, are turning to mobile developments because that's where the most of the money is. So when you come to VR, no casual gamer, or however you want to call people who play games on their phones, none of those people are going to do VR. That's never going to happen for them.
You do realize there's the Gear VR released. That's sort of the partnership between Samsung and with any high-end Samsung phone.
No. So that's different. That's not going to be used for gaming. That's going to be used for video.
It is though, and it can be.
It can be used for gaming, but I think that augmented reality is where people are going to really get into, as casual players are going to get into gaming. As
I don't think so.
More hardcore players probably won't, but
I'm not saying. I mean, in gaming in general, VR industry is certainly not just gaming. I think it has far more potential for that. I can't wait for like my plan fully 4 years from now is to have a VR headset, hopefully with like a 4K or higher screen. That is my one screen I use for my desktop.
You're a VR headset?
Yes.
You know how much that would hurt your eyes?
Do you think I already don't look at a computer in 12 hours?
Well, no, for computer screens would be different. This one's like 3 inches away from your eyes.
It's a computer screen. It's called...
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not an optometrist. We need to ask Chase about this.
Yeah, oh my god. But that's like an interesting thought. And it would be like a good way for some people to use it, but for people like me,
Are you sure? I mean, for someone like you, you only have one monitor anyways, right? Or do you have two?
I have two.
But
for me, it's not so much like it's a bad idea to have it close to my eyes or whatever, and I could see the use for it. But I could definitely see me getting headaches from it, and it wouldn't be something that I would use on a working basis. I would only ever use a VR headset for
pleasure.
For yeah,
When you said pleasures.
Giggity.
giggity. But no, for like video games, I can't see like just having a virtual setup for like my desktop.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think most people would be able to handle that. There's already issues with people just straight up playing video games because of motion sickness. There's no way people would be able to handle a headset.
That's because they play consoles with or too close to large TVs with not being able to adjust the field of view settings.
That's true.
Here's a good article.
Can't really read it right now. You're gonna have to dictate it to me.
How long is it? It's fairly long.
I mean, just give me the gist of it.
I don't want to. You gotta read it. It's really well written. The title is "I Finally Tried Virtual Reality." This is a tech journalist.
Right.
I don't think he's technically a tech journalist, but he's a journalist.
Right.
And he works for something tech related because he went to CES. So he says, "I finally tried virtual reality and it brought me to tears." And it's a really good way of showing like public perception of what VR is right now, and after you try it, what happens.
Right.
Well,
so
I don't think if I had a VR headset, I can't say that I would hate the experience. I know I think it would be awesome and cool or whatever, but most people, it's gonna be a gaming accessory, and I don't see, at least within this decade, I don't see a market for it. I don't see a company being profitable from something like this.
Maybe if they price it really high.
The next 4 years are gonna be slow for it. Well, but I think it's gonna grow. I mean, unless like a ton amount of people find it to be like make them nauseous, which does not seem to be happening based on everyone's opinions on the consumer versions that I've seen online. So I would highly doubt that. It seems like something that's gonna. I think it's something that has potential.
And my biggest problem with it, for me, I feel like, is not having like my peripheral vision in the real world, and that being really off-putting at first. I mean, you'd get used to it, but...
What do you mean?
Like, having a headset on that gets rid of all of your peripheral vision. When you're gaming, normally, even if you have like a ultra-wide monitor that like curves around you or whatever, you still have your peripheral vision.
Hey, you're underestimating the curve of his ultra-wide monitor. This thing goes around the frickin' room.
Like, even if you don't think about it, you have your peripheral vision in the real world. And...
So, are you saying that you want peripheral vision for the purpose of, like, grabbing a drink or something? Or
I'm not saying, like, it would be bad to get rid of your peripheral vision. It's not like someone's gonna sneak up on you and shoot you or whatever. But it's like...
You never know.
I mean...
It just... That's, like, what I've heard is, like, the most off-putting thing is being completely... shut out from everything else, and it's like something you get used to, and it's not like a huge deal after you've used it for a while, but at first that's like... And maybe people who try it don't like that feeling, and then they don't.
I mean, most of the people that have tried like the Vive and the consumer version, or the near consumer versions of the Rift, have said that it's pretty amazing how you feel a sense of presence in the virtual world and your mind accepts it as reality.
This is Matt. I don't mean to stop here, but this is starting to sound like a cult to me.
Yes,
I'm getting triggered.
I mean, you all get to try it. I'm getting one of them, so I might get both of them if for some reason
You might get both of them. All right. To be honest, you're the one person who I'd expect to hear that from, though. So
yeah,
honestly,
if I weren't a poor college student, I would. If I could afford to drop a bunch of money on a VR headset, I would.
God damn it,
Right.
Auntie Laura. God damn
I mean,
it.
By the time
I personally think it has a very high potential to, not necessarily on its own, like, but turn it into something that can change the world. Personally,
Yeah, I think it'll be something really, and I could see someone somewhere finding practical uses for it in the real world.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that like virtual monitor thing I told you about. No, like actually like a lot of business, like say freaking Wall Street stockbrokers, you know, they have bloody 6 monitors around them at all freaking time. Imagine that instead of a monitor, they have a headset, and they can look around wherever the hell they want for all.
And then all of a sudden, a spooky ghost shows up on them. And you
But
have a bunch
no.
of dead stockbrokers because they're all hopped up on cocaine.
Yes,
Matt, you don't
No.
think about these things.
I know. Yeah, I know what you're making. A joke of. I'm just making a point of like business person that needed someone that like.
Well, I've already heard of, there's been cases of people using them for therapy. Like
Yeah,
loss
yeah.
of limbs, you can use it to help get rid of the ghost symptoms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
From what I know, it is recommended that VR be taken in a sitting position, because you could be doing something and subconsciously like walk towards something, but then walk into a wall.
A knife.
Suddenly your brain goes, "What the fuck is right there?" And then your body starts going nuts and you fall over.
you just have a seizure.
Well,
You bump into the wall and then all of a sudden...
pretty clearly, you guys have not looked into this, but yeah, the Oculus Rift is more meant, or for the first one, is going to be more meant as a sitting experience, like Brian said.
Yeah, but
the
I know
the Vive itself is built around its ability to track you in a room. And walk around, and then there's in-game things that go on. You can view videos of it, what it looks like, but it'll like be a blue shimmery wall when you reach the like border where you're supposed to be walking. Then you can like turn around and whatnot. But that deals with that. Like there's very easy ways to deal with that.
what I don't like about motion-related experiences like that is you have to be in a fairly large open area.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
you
the main
have
issue
to,
with
like,
it.
Move. So
That's
if
the
you want to
reason-
like have a VR motion experience, you have to move all of your furniture out of the way of the.
Well, yeah, that's the main issue with the Vive, and why the Vive will probably not sell well. I don't think.
That was the
Hey,
main
easy
issue.
way to
I think
fix that?
battery.
Easy way to fix that? Strap a battery to your back, go out in the streets.
I mean, it has,
Take it to
you
the
have-
streets.
The sensors have to track the controllers, though.
You know what?
And-
Just hook up
and they
hook
have-
up a thing
and
that
they have to just-
hook up a whole
So-
chassis for the system. Just have a big old
Actually-
circle around you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that eventually the chassis for it would be
Well, yeah. I mean, there's
small
already
enough
things
to
like
be put into a backpack for.
yeah. There's already things like the omnidirectional treadmills, those kind of things.
What they need to do is have
Finally! That took forever. Literally the last item I got was the one I needed.
Nice.
what they need
Oh,
to do
split.
is have like a clear visor that projects shit in front of you, so you can
So
play games
AR.
that are integrated into your world or into the real world.
That's AR.
That's AR.
That's what I was talking about.
Well, I think they're at CES. What company showed it? I think
This year or last year? Because there's
this
all
year.
kind. You talking about
Yeah.
like the Scouter thing from BMW? That was funny as shit.
Yeah, it does look like a scouter, but there's.
I'm
Oh, I would totally love a scouter, man. That would be
there's a-
awesome.
It was a motorcycle. I think it was on a motorcycle helmet.
It's a
and then
motorcycle helmet and it has a HUD.
Yeah, it just shows like right. The only example I saw was showing the miles per hour. It can show you, oh, it's got a camera, so it can activate the camera on the helmet, as well as like, oh, the camera sees there's a miles per or speed limit change. It'll
Yeah.
do a pop-up on the thing.
But I see a lot of potential for that because
You end up getting a bunch of ads while you're driving your motorcycle. Ah!
That will probably be illegal.
Yeah, it'd be distracting.
Not that it wouldn't happen.
I think,
But yeah, I mean, we're almost to the future where you can see people's.
What were you gonna say there? See
We're
people's
almost to
what?
the future. See people's power levels.
Oh yeah, man.
this is something completely different there.
Yeah, so did I actually. It did sound like you're gonna say something different.
Penises.
Something like that.
Okay. Genitals.
I want to know who the first person to break 9,000 is. Actually, but if we follow the original Japanese, it's truly 8,000. Let's get real here, you guys. It's 8,000. All right, let's not crash the game.
But for the
Come on, buddy.
9,000.
God damn it!
Yeah.
Crashed.
Did the game crash?
Yeah, I could just restart a save. It just costs me like a minute.
Hmm.
Damn.
That happened at all to the world record?
Bam. No, because he's doing a different glitch that doesn't crash. It's because I have a PS2. For some reason, only early versions of the PS2 can run the glitch that the world record has, but then later ones can run this glitch, which is just a little bit slower if you don't crash. If you do crash, then it's a lot bit slower.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Like the architectures are different.
I have no idea what it is. I'm guessing it might be the PlayStation driver, because that's the one similarity I saw between this one and like other ones. I get world record yet? Not quite, Kaz. That's gonna be in like a week. I promise. I'm actually trying to finish the game now. Hopefully I don't crash it again. What are you gonna say?
So, yeah, I think I see augmented reality having a much larger market when it.
I think it's just going to be much more accepted by people. Like VR, it's understandable, but I don't think people want that kind of experience. The average person, not the gamer. Gamers would probably want an experience like that.
I mean, I think just from like the day to day, AR is going to be definitely accepted.
Oh,
by
definitely day to
much
day.
more.
Yeah,
think
AR is
you're-
going to be super useful in day to day stuff.
I think you're viewing this from the perception of current people. You do realize like the whole point. This is a new industry.
Well,
There-
I'm not.
There is
viewing it-
what's to come is convincing people, and demoing. Like 90% of people like me who are gonna have this $600 headsets, I'm just gonna be showing it to people.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
how
the
much
thing
I'll actually be
about it,
playing
though.
games, but so I'm of the opinion that it's gonna explode. But
At my I don't deny it'll explode.
AR is cool,
But VR at the price point right now there is
Yeah,
no
right now.
market for it.
yeah, right now is not the issue.
A couple of years down the road when the prices get like sliced in half or more
I mean,
and it's like
talking about markets right now is completely pointless.
Well,
I'm saying
I don't
It's
think.
the same deal with like, oh, market for an iPod. You want to go back to 2001 and talk about the market for an
Well, I think Matt. I think what my argument in this is that. Oh crap! I don't think I can talk right now. Actually. Wait. Just give me a second. I'll get back to you.
I'm like watching him.
All right. I think so. My argument is that it's going to be much more applicable in daily life unless we're all wearing VR headsets all the time.
See, that's the thing.
I mean, I'm gonna.
VR is pretty.
I think VR.
I think earlier it's pretty niche how it
Well, that-
can really only apply to people who are using it for games, and the very slight majority of that, or the very slight minority of that minority who are using it for like virtual desktop use.
I mean, that's not going to happen now. That won't happen at all for like a few years.
Yeah.
The resolution isn't high enough because of you need pixels per degree, and then you need to map the pixels correctly as well. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I looked into trying to like doing it myself, and it's just like, yeah, it needs a high resolution. Like it might need more than 4K realistically, but I mean, we already have.
Well, yeah, because it's so.
There's already
close
phones
to
with
your
4K,
eyes.
so we'll probably have like 8K within 4 years on display sets.
Yeah, but if you have
8K is only relevant on VR though.
If you have like an 8K VR headset, wouldn't it be cheaper just to buy 6 monitors at that point?
No, because so 4 years from down the line, the price. So think of like the original iPhone. 4 years after the original iPhone released, do you think the original iPhone is still $800? No. But the original iPhone still functions the same as the original. So the point of Oculus Rift right now and being so expensive is that they want it to be the first version. They want it to be very good, and the price for this one only goes lower in the future. So in 3 years, you'll be able to get a Oculus Rift, say, not necessarily. Yeah, we don't know, but there's a good chance you'll be able to get like the same Oculus Rift for $600 today, for $100 to $200 for the exact same experience. And then there's still a market for that $600 one because instead of someone like me who has a $600 monitor and another $300 monitor, they buy one $600 headset, which could be 7 $600 monitors at once. That's the market for like the high-end ones in the future.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
But
I can't hear you guys right now, but I gotta put my headphones back on.
I also think
there we go. Sorry, I had to count up to 88, and I don't get any indicators in the menu for if I've counted the correct number of times. So if I screw that up, then the run is over. But now we'll see.
But what I'm saying is,
thanks, Credelium.
Kind of with the AR is, by the time it's affordable, will AR have passed it up?
Right.
AR to be really good, which the only company I've seen doing an attempt at really good AR is Microsoft. And their developer version is costing $2,000.
Not to mention, I think we're maybe pigeonholing AR a little bit too much here. Another aspect of AR is just using it like game elements from online and wait just a sec, let's see if this works, in like everyday life. So I'm losing time.
I think a good
booyah
point about AR is that
Wolvecki. Not really.
Most people are going to if they're gonna want a headset of some kind, and this is just the average person, this isn't like someone who's at the high end of like gaming or whatever, they'll want a headset that's AR instead of VR as an accessory for their computer, as opposed to a replacement for their computer. I don't think many people are willing, at least not within this decade or the next, like, 10 years from now.
I don't think do you realize how fast technology moves? 10 years is all.
That's true, but people, I'm not talking about the technology not being there. I'm talking about how quickly people are going to say this is what should become what everybody does.
Well, technology only changes with the people using it. So, I mean, like.
But what do you mean by that, Matt?
There can be a change in technology but it's something that happens hand in hand. It doesn't just they don't happen exclusively. It doesn't like you don't have to have people change before they can do this, you can ease them into it slowly, and it happens together.
Well, I think having an augmented reality is easier to ease people into than virtual reality.
I mean, I think augmented reality is completely different than virtual reality.
It is.
It serves a completely, utterly different purpose, other than the fact it has reality in the name.
Oh yeah.
I forgot that mouse did this. Anyways. But augmented reality, I mean, it might make more money, sure. If people start accepting things like Google Glass, which is what augmented reality is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, some people might say that's Google's fault for making it look stupid, but I don't think it was. I don't think it looked that dumb. It was a combination of things.
I think maybe they ushered it out a little bit too early.
Yeah.
Like there was hardly even a prospect on virtual reality at that point. So for people to jump just straight into something like that, of course people are gonna make fun of it.
I mean, well, yeah, it was also a combination of like they made it like available for, and the reason was because they didn't know that wasn't what it costed them. They weren't like, yeah, we only want people with $1,500 spare to wear, which led people to like call them glass holes and whatnot.
Oh right.
But
oh yeah.
Combined with how it looks, and then combined with people being like, oh, it's got a camera on your face, privacy. That anyways, retard.
That's true.
Yeah, it's what's interesting about Google Glass is they pushed it out way too early.
And their perception of it with like people thought, oh, it's a consumer version.
Yeah.
No, it's for developers, and they want people who are serious to get into it, that want to like make things for it. That's what it was meant for. It was a proof of concept that they were just saying, hey, do you want to try it out?
Didn't get that. I mean,
yeah, no.
I remember.
It was just media grabbing attention on it, and it just spiraled.
I remember like even a Saturday Night Live skit where they talked about it like it was pushed out for consumer grade, and it clearly wasn't. It was a clear developer build
for
people who were willing to take it seriously and test it and see what it can do.
Right.
And I think that really has potential, especially because, it didn't look great or whatever. Well, if they were to push it out to a consumer base, especially with
the look thing is like, oh, a celebrity has a new haircut, I don't like that, and then later no one gives it.
Yeah, well, people are petty.
Like